everyone! Welcome back to the Dragon's Den on YouTube Gaming, specifically. I'm joined by so many people here today.
Yeah.
Too many.
Well, more than the average.
Yes,
of us.
exactly. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So yeah, as a nice little, way to ring in the weekend, we decided to go over all of our wonderful stuff for the Summer Flare preview week, as we have been doing on Twitch and Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So
Can't
thank you,
wait.
Coffee, for joining us.
Coffee is
He's
back.
ready.
Coffee, who made coffee right before the stream.
I did.
Yep.
Had to
Yeah.
have
You
fresh.
had to make
Yeah.
sure he was pumped and energetic.
Truly.
Both are true. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Yes. All
Enough. He
right.
was sitting here pumping himself up before the stream
It's
started.
my
It's
favorite
true.
day. It's
Yeah.
Lore Day. Lore Day is my
Oh,
favorite
man.
day.
Lore Day is a good day. So we are going to show off the dragon's lore. That is something we have not done on Twitch or Facebook Live quite yet. So we've got lore to go over, and we also have some information on runes and glyphs.
That's right.
Exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You asked, I promised, I delivered, except no stats. So mostly delivered.
Yes.
Just like with the dragons, we
Mostly.
will be showing off the glyphs and runes that will be in their branches, but we won't be talking about their specific stats because those might still be changed slightly.
Yeah. Sounds good. Cool.
So,
All right.
the other thing we need to make sure we mention is that the giveaway today will be 5 food packs and 5 XP potions to help you out with your feeding to make sure that your dragons are no longer hungry. They might still be, but they'll be less hungry.
We saw a lot of comments over the week being like, thank God, because my dragons have been starving.
Yes.
So I'm very excited that
you
we have
will-
feeding now.
Yes, you will at least get that.
Yes.
There will not be dragon trivia. Dragon trivia will make its way back eventually.
Pretty
we
soon,
Haven't
yeah.
chosen an official date yet.
Yeah.
But we'll let everyone know.
Yep. Like Arlena mentioned, next week is going to be all of us flying the new Summer Flare Dragons live on stream. So a week from this time, you'll see us actually flying them here. So that actually means that Dragon Trivia might be the week after that, but we'll still determine it. We'll let you know for sure. So
It might also be on a different stream too.
yeah. Oh, that's true. Might have some other streams that will do
Dun,
Dragons
dun,
Trivia
dun.
as well.
Sounds fun.
What else would we be? I feel like I saw another comment that I was going to answer, but I don't remember what it was. Just kidding.
Kenda, I know you're asking what the festive dragon that's coming out for the Summer Flare season. We are going to talk more about the festive dragon as it gets closer to its release, which is in week 8 of the Summer Flare season.
Mhm.
But we will discuss the general just structure of how the season will be laid out in just a moment. So you'll at least know exactly when the festive dragon is coming, but we'll have more news as it gets closer. I think we just
That's
determined the name of it recently, from what I've heard.
I did see the name
Yeah,
of it pop
so-
up.
We may or may not know some more information about it, but
We know some
you know.
more, but we are not sharing.
We'll
PG
tell
Coffee
you.
is not leaking anything.
Listen, okay. I don't know why you looked at me when you said that. I never leak anything. Leak proof.
leak proof,
Make my
waterproof.
coffee. Actually, I can't.
I was
No,
like,
don't
please
do
don't
that.
do that.
Yeah.
Please don't
My
do
coffee
that.
leaks.
Bad idea.
Nissan mug. It's been through a lot.
Oh goodness, someone was about to call Dragon Protective Services for how underfed their dragons were.
Hey man,
That's,
it's not our fault that you chose not to feed your dragons.
Yeah.
Should have more feeding events.
Oh goodness. All right. So let's jump in.
Yeah, let's do it. So to start, we're just going to recap real quick on how the Summer Flare structure will work for the season. So we will start, of course, with the season launch. So this is happening next Wednesday, June 6th, I believe is the official date. So this is when the Summer Flare season is officially live. Of course, this also means that Springvale is coming to an end. So on Tuesday, June 5th is going to be the very last day that you can use any of your Springvale sigils that you have to get any of the prizes in the branches. So that will officially change over at midnight PT of Tuesday, June 5th. So please be sure that you get all your sigils spent right up to that time, because after that, sigils will not carry forward to the
Spend
next
your sigils.
season. Yes.
Otherwise, you just have some awkward Springvale sigils chilling on your account.
Yes.
And they will be there forever.
She knows this because she can see it on the back end.
Yep, I can see it.
It's true.
It's there.
Cool. So season launch, of course, is going to be the first 3 dragons that we went over on Twitch and Facebook Live. We will go over them in just a moment as well. In addition to that, for the season launch, we also have the egg token bonus, of course, which is right next to Coffee's head. And
Good spot for it.
yes. And in terms of how the Mythic Warrior branch will unlock, Coffee, you want to run us through that a little bit?
All right. In brief, the Mythic Warrior, to unlock the full branch up to Harbinger tier, you will need to claim both the Sorcerer and the Hunter all the way through, just as in the Springvale season. However, oh, did you really? It was a coffee token. I was.
Oh, goodness.
Coffee token.
Yeah. Okay, however, this season we've introduced a new feature where if you claim entirely the Sorcerer branch or entirely the Hunter branch, then you can claim the prizes on the Mythic branch up to the Platinum Stone. So this means if you really like the Sorcerer or the Hunter, you finish the branch, and then you're thinking, maybe I want to go for the Mythic, maybe I don't, maybe I want to go for something else. You can claim up to the Dragon in the Mythic, get it up to Platinum, fly it, decide if it's a Mythic you really like, you want to commit to, or if you're not as interested and you want to go more for one of the Riders or one of the other Legendary Dragons, that's your choice. So that's a small change this year, but again, if you want to get the full Mythic Dragon, you do have to claim both the Sorcerer and the Hunter all the way down the branch. The last thing I'll say about the Mythic, which I talked about in the last two streams as well, if there's another tier introduced, sort of the next tier after Harbinger, then there will be a stone added on to the end of the branch for this Mythic Dragon, which you can then claim.
So it'll be very similar to what happened with Neptus.
That's right. Cool.
Cool.
All right.
All right, next up it's going to be on my head, which I realize
Yes.
now, of course.
Well,
I'll just push
Discount
myself
prices.
past the webcam over here.
So Discount Rider, very exciting this season because it's a defensive rider. It's going to look awesome. Those of you who haven't used a defensive rider before, we will be going over it on stream, I believe, in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk all about how that works, but very powerful, very cool to have on your base. And this discount will last for 2 weeks, just as Oksana's did and Kayla's did before that. The first half of the branch will be discounted 50%. All the rider shards will be on the first half of the branch, so you can fully claim the rider. And then the armor will be on the second half of the branch. And yeah, super excited about this discount rider. I'm definitely getting this because defensive riders are very cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how a defensive rider, sort of makes its entrance into the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be a first for them.
This will be
so.
exciting.
Yeah,
Exactly. So that's week 3 that happens. So I don't. That's June 20th, maybe.
Yes, you got it.
June 20th.
Yeah.
All right, week 6. This is same as Springvale season. So we have the Veteran Rider, branch, and that is on top of the 2 remaining Legendary Dragons of the season, which will be another Sorcerer and a Warrior. So fully claim those 2 branches, and then you unlock the Veteran Rider. And this branch behaves just as it did in Springvale season. So that's week 6, and then
straightforward. Yeah.
week 8.
Yes,
is
the
what
final week.
we were alluding to earlier. This is the Festive Dragon. This is very similar to Kieran in that it will start at Red tier and go all the way to Harbinger tier. We're calling it the Festive Dragon because just as Kieran was sort of Chinese New Year, this dragon will be associated with something relevant to the summer season. And will be sort of fun in that way and different, and also start at Red tier so everyone can get involved, claim, and get this dragon very easily for the festival towards the end of the season.
Indeed.
So that is our season. So I guess there are 9 total branches for this season, and I hope all of you very much enjoy it. We've been working very hard on it. Summer Flare, so I'm excited about it.
We're excited.
Yeah, things definitely kicked into high gear here at the beginning of May, I'd say.
Yes.
When we were really like, all right, this is happening.
We're coming.
So now it is finally coming to a reality. It's happening, everyone. It's
Let's
happening.
see.
.gif.
Yes, very excited.
Yes.
Let's grab some questions. We can take
Sure.
a pause.
Yes.
So, what do you think is the best dragon, not including the Warrior, of this season? Oh man,
So,
I don't know yet.
yeah, between the Sorcerer and the Hunter.
Yeah, we've all played them a bit, but I haven't, I don't think any of us have had enough time to make a true judgment
bond with one.
You can watch them fly them next week if you want to wait before you commit. I have not flown the later two, the Sorcerer and Warrior, because we haven't gone, because it's 6 weeks out, we haven't started into our sort of final phase of testing and bouncing with those dragons, so I can't compare those. Mythic Warrior is super fun. But if I was to choose between the other two, I am going for the Sorcerer, but that's because, as I talked about yesterday, the Hunter is too scary for me. I haven't in my den. And I also really love the Hunter I got last season with 4, so for me, I think the Sorcerer is a better complement to what I'm doing.
In my roster, the Sorcerers have definitely been lacking for me compared to just my preference of Hunters and Warriors. So I am definitely going to try the Sorcerer first for sure, especially because it's discounted, there's no reason not to. And I might as well try some of their spells first and, sort of figure it out and see, is this a dragon I want to keep on my roster? Maybe I want to move on, try the Hunter a little bit, But, I probably will go for the Sorcerer just based on the fact that I feel a little unbalanced in my roster right now, and I'd like to get some more Sorcerers in there.
Yeah, and it depends on what gaps you're filling in. I think the Hunter is a great lead dragon with Cloak, and this damage burst is going to be able to unleash, and then these damage over times, and then the revive. I mean, it will be able to get deep into really tough bases and take them down and soften them up so you can follow it up with, a Sorcerer or Warrior afterwards.
Right, very resilient, if you will.
Absolutely, especially for a Hunter. So I think definitely a challenging dragon to use as well. Cloak is always one of those high skill cap spells, and then you add in a resurrect mechanic with the everlasting hunt, which is another high skill cap. So I think it will be very fun when it's in certain players' hands, but it will definitely be a challenging dragon to use because you really want to get the timing on that everlasting hunt is really important for that dragon because you get a full health back, which is huge. So for me, the Sorcerer, but I think both are pretty good.
I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
I'll probably go for the Sorcerer because it's the discount dragon, but
the hype is real, so I might go for the Sorcerer first. It's also beautiful, the Rainbow Serpent.
It is really pretty.
And we're getting ahead of ourselves, of course.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We want to make sure that you all see the dragons as well.
Let's see.
We're not just talking about them.
Here is a good question for us both.
Sure.
Were we nervous the first time we started streaming?
Yes.
Most definitely.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Most definitely.
My heart was like in my stomach. It was bad. Yeah.
I also remember flying quite poorly my first stream. That was rough because I had to fly. Oh man, Girasol and Moonfang, and I had not touched either of those dragons, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's like, well,
is that the one where you're tapping with the warrior?
I think so. Way back when.
We all start somewhere.
Oh, I've totally done that myself.
We all started somewhere. I've clearly come very far. No, we're not flying them today. They will be flown next week. I think that is everything. All right, let's keep going.
All right. So getting back to the dragons. So, of course, for those of you who tuned in to the Twitch and Facebook live streams, we went pretty in depth as to what these dragons are, who they are, what their elements and all this good stuff and the spells. We'll do a nice review of that today as well. And we also have lore and rune and glyph information. So that is what we're going to start with. So first up is the lore for Coat. Coat?
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it? Coats with an S, I believe.
It's
somewhat.
It's a syllable that I can't entirely pronounce. It's challenging for me.
All of you follow along at home and please try to pronounce it.
It's like if you're trying to speak another language.
Because it is another language.
It is another language.
It's an entirely separate language.
Well, okay. Obviously, it's like you're trying to speak another. But when they use certain syllables or sounds that are rolling your R's if you haven't spoken Spanish before, for instance, is really hard. So.
I'm Mexican, I still can't roll my R's.
Okay, well. Anyway.
Comes naturally.
So, Coats. Can I read the
Yes,
lore?
of course you can. Everyone read along.
Legends speak of a rainbow serpent that keeps watch over the wind-blown shroud. Travelers and merchants tell stories of falling victim to bandits or dangerous wasteland predators only to be rescued by a powerful sky serpent gliding in on brilliant wings. While some dismiss these tales as fantasy, they too pray to the skies for Coats when all hope seems lost.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
It's heroic.
Yeah.
I would pray to the sky for Coats. Can you imagine just flying in? just
It's like,
cast
hello.
Please, Rainbow Serpent.
Right, and it's just like
Please.
Northern Lights, and it's just this giant invincible
Rainbow
serpent, and it's
serpent
like
coming
there's
for
almost
you.
too much rainbow happening. It's this rainbow shield around him, and then the wings, the rainbow wings. I love it.
Not to get all Pokemon about it, but Pokemon just announced a couple of things recently, but it is a combination, for those of you who may know what I'm talking about, between Ho-Oh and Rayquaza.
Yep.
And I know you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
I do, thank you very much.
Okay, great, cool.
I know my Pokemon game.
Coffee, how
I
you
like
doing?
to think that Ho-Oh and Rayquaza were inspired by Coats.
Ah, yes.
The legends
Of course.
There we go.
Yes.
of Coats.
Naturally.
Yeah, I love this. This is one I'd like to just have around my house, hanging out with me.
For sure.
Just have
personally.
the art up on your
Yeah,
wall.
just like
Yeah.
Leos.
Well,
and
speaking of
one-
art, actually, we are interested in getting some mobile and desktop wallpapers
Oh.
and ready for the Summer Flare Dragons.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely see
mobile
co-ops.
wall player.
You could
I love
also
that.
have it on
Yeah.
your computer too.
Yeah, I
so for
have-
iPad, your phones, any type of phone that you have, any type of iPad or tablet or desktop.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I still have Airbean on my desktop right now.
Airbean's a great one
But
too.
I would definitely put Coats up on my mobile wallpaper. That
Yeah,
would really
try and make it very colorful.
Yeah.
Be like, this is the
Super.
summer.
It's summer.
Yeah. Anyway, so onwards to spells.
All right, so we walked through these 3 times yesterday in a lot of depth. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, you can always watch yesterday's stream. As usual, For Science does a fantastic job capturing these notes on the forums.
Mm-hmm.
So go over there. Always just such a huge resource. But I will run through them very quickly. Thunderbolt is a white spell similar to Chain Lightning. This spell has been in the past on Equester and Borgian. It's a just burst chain spell, and it's white, so extremely powerful. Really popular spell in the past because you can just take down some mage towers super quickly with it. Northern Lights Light gives Coats invincibility for a period of time, at the end of which the shield explodes and casts healing marks on all nearby towers, which then you can destroy and get back health. So that's a major way that this dragon survives. Tough Islands, goes in, invincible, and then weakens the towers, and then picks them off in order to regain all the health. And then finally, Mystic Barrage is a first on a sorcerer, and this is a damage boost. So similar to Havoc, it's going to boost the regular attack damage for Coats, so it turns that sorcerer breath into just a machine gun of just powerful bolts, if you will.
Basically, yeah.
And then finally, Adaptive Resist. If you haven't played around with this before, it is a unique type of resist where you can cycle it between lightning, dark flak, and fire turret resist. So there's a cooldown, which prevents you from like constantly cycling, but each time you cycle, it changes the resist for the dragon. You also get back a small percentage of rage every single time you cycle. So there is a rage mechanic there, and it's something that really high-level players use effectively to change depending on what island they're approaching, and also to get back some rage. So, very cool spell set. That's Coats.
Yes, indeed. And now we get on to Coats's runes and glyphs. So, of course, all that text is right on my face, but that's
Hold
fine.
When I make these, I like to make sure that the text is on
Make sure
top.
that it covers us
That's
to
the
a
most
degree.
important
Yeah.
thing to me when I come up with these is that
Yeah.
I
They're
maximize
both me now.
the most important text to be
You
at the
just
time.
can
So
no longer see the name. Just
That's fine.
FYI.
It's
these
fine.
are pretty straightforward. Hopefully you can read it. So there will be 2 runes and then a glyph. Same as in the Springvale season. So we have the Epic Mystic Barrage rune, the Legendary Mystic Barrage rune, and the Mythic Mystic Barrage glyph. As you might expect, these all impact Mystic Barrage spell by increasing the percentage damage bonus that it gives. So it's like Havoc, it gives the dragon a % bonus to damage while it's active. This will increase that and make it even stronger. And then the glyph also has a secondary ability of giving additional rage generation, which obviously is fantastic.
Right. I'll never say no to that.
Yeah, I mean, this
Nope.
glyph is 100% going on this dragon, and they do stack.
Yeah.
So if you have multiple, they will complement each other. So, equipping this glyph, and then the legendary rune, of course, And then the epic, depending on what other runes you may have, you may replace it. Depends on how deep you get into the branch, what other runes you might have. But definitely, if you get this glyph, you're putting it on this dragon 100% of the time, and most likely the legendary rune as well. And then if you're only going about halfway down the branch, that epic rune is very useful.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, next up we have, I really hope I say this right, Quoutley.
That's perfect.
All right,
yeah.
I don't even need to
Nailed
say
it.
the name. All right. Oh, my.
So this is our hunter dragon.
All right.
Everybody read along.
Oh, goodness.
Many dragons of the wind-blown shroud are adorned with armor and jewelry, given as gifts by the humans the dragons protect. Quoutley, however, offers no sanctuary or security. Instead, the vulture dragon prowls the desert waste, taking any glittering treasures that catches its eye. Dragons and humans alike avoid the desert whenever possible, not wishing to be added to Quoutley's collection.
I mean,
I love it. So dramatic.
It's a dramatic dragon. This dragon is terrifying.
Yes.
This dragon's a vulture. It clearly is going to
Yeah, it's hunting.
You can see its trinkets all over it.
It's a vulture, but it also is more terrifying because it's a collector.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, those are...
Yeah. Like, if you're shiny, that's bad news.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't go into the desert.
Hide everything
Parents
shiny.
should just stay away.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That would be very
waste.
bad.
Especially... Those are fangs of other dragons that it's killed.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly hanging as trophies.
I'm guessing the beads are from riders that it also killed.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
you're
taking
right.
it one step farther here.
Oh, the trophies.
It's got a lot of trophies.
Oh,
It
man.
does, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about a vulture.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
It's too terrifying.
Well, anyway.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
It's too scary.
So what moves does Quoutley know? So Quoutley is our fire hunter, at least for the first half of the Summer Flare season. So, of course, it has your classic hunter spell for Cloak. Everyone knows how Cloak works. And Heatstroke and Everlasting Hunt are the newer ones. So what do we have for those?
Well, this is the only hunter of this season.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a second sorcerer and a second warrior coming in that are legendary dragons in the second half of the season. But this is only hunter of the season. So Heatstroke is a damage boost. Now, I will note it's a white spell, right? So with some damage boosts, they can be negated. Not Heatstroke. Heatstroke is when you cast that, it's happening. It doesn't matter what towers are near you. So Heatstroke gives Quoutley a damage boost, and then also every time it hits a tower, it applies a damage over time, similar to the Gloom Cloud effect to those towers. So you can spread that out, let that just burn them down. Everlasting Hunt is a resurrect type spell, similar to Rising Phoenix. Right when you cast it, there is a set period of time after you cast it, during which if Quoutley dies, it bursts back to life, dealing damage to all nearby towers and returning its health to full. So, you have to time it right, so it doesn't happen automatically.
Right.
But because it's red, it actually doesn't get negated by red towers because it's something that Quoutley is casting on itself as opposed to an attacking spell. So a red tower will negate the damage you do, but it won't be able to stop you from casting Everlasting Hunt.
Which is really good to know. So don't shy away from the red spell, even if you see red mage towers. If you know that you're going to go down, this is the spell for you, for sure.
Yeah, used right, I mean, Everlasting Hunt should mean you basically get 2 runs with this one dragon. And you combine that with Cloak, and this is why this could be a very strong lead dragon, because it can get so deep into enemy bases. If you can negate your main enemy here is going to be blue towers, because they will prevent you from using the Cloak. But if you can take those out, probably using Heatstroke and Everlasting Hunt, you can basically get through an entire base, knocking out key towers and softening it up.
Yep, definitely. Not to be messed with is the theme around Quoutley over here.
Taking trophies.
Yeah.
Oh,
taking names.
Hold on.
Yes.
We're shifting.
All right.
So Quoutley's runes and glyphs.
So, these clearly are Heatstroke related. So we have the epic Heatstroke damage rune, legendary Heatstroke damage rune, mythic Heatstroke damage glyph. So same pattern as previous. and these will each increase the bonus damage that Heatstroke gives to Quatley. So Quatley does additional damage with its attacks when Heatstroke is active. This will increase that % damage. And then the glyph will also increase the duration with which Heatstroke lasts. So again, automatically equipping that, if you earn these for Quatley, you are going to want to put these on there. These are,
and it
really
focuses in
increase the burst
on
potential.
the hunter's white spell, which is
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So regardless, this extra damage and extra duration is
Never a bad
specifically
thing.
targeting the white spell. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So not a bad choice.
Yep. So all these will be in the branch, same as in the Springvale season. You can earn them, and yeah, that's
All right.
Quatley.
That is Quatley. So bringing it on around and back to our mythic
to
warrior.
My favorite.
To
My
Weezy.
favorite. All right.
To Weezy. Yes.
Huitzi. The city of Chisteca is regarded as the most prosperous city throughout the Shroud, thriving from an advanced irrigation system and well-traveled trade lanes. Their wealth is coveted by many raiders who seek to pillage the city, that is, until they encounter Chisteca's draconic champion, Huitzi. With the deafening sound of a thunderclap, Huitzi descends on unsuspecting attackers, accompanied by a fury of lightning bolts. Arrows deflect harmlessly off Huitzi's jade armor as the champion's furious dragonfire envelops hopeless raiders. Nobody has attacked Chisteca twice.
It's because they're probably all dead.
Oh, so cool.
Amazing. You should get props for that. I hope in the little off-topic notes that For Science will have for this stream is that you were very passionate about your lore readings. Yeah.
I love it. They just love seeing these dragons in character and imagining them.
Oh yeah, and this is
descending
excellent
on-
lore, mind you, too.
Thank you,
It really, fully
just-
encompasses the
just
story.
Coming in with this fury of lightning bolts and the Aegis and the armor and just destroying some group of raiders that's come in.
Just like
Those
to
poor,
attack.
they don't
Just-
even know what was going to
Oh
happen.
my god, what is that?
They literally see it and they're like, well,
Right.
we're dead. So one of them's probably just laying down like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Just gonna lay
totally,
down now.
Totally give it up.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Weetzy's nickname should be "Come at me, bro."
That is very true. Even just in its
I like
stance,
it.
it's like,
Yeah.
What?
You want to
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
It does have a little bit of a bro attitude to it. I get that.
A little bit.
Cool. All right, so
right.
these are Wheatsea's storms. I was going to say storms. It's spells, which are basically storms when you think about it.
Yes.
So this is an earth element warrior. And we've got Explosive Aegis, which is its extremely special white spell. Blood Fury, which a lot of you know from the Harbinger tier dragons. Lightning Storm as well is also a new one to the game. And of course, Dark Flak Resist. So take us through it, Coffee.
All right.
We got you.
Explosive Aegis, super powerful. Definitely the iconic spell for this dragon. When you cast this, it creates a shield around Wheatsea that gives it a damage buff and also absorbs damage. This will last for a specific set of time or until it's depleted. So it takes, the dragon takes enough damage, the shield will disappear. However, if you recast the spell, which costs no rage, it's just a second cast of the spell before the shield is completely depleted, it will explode and deal damage to all nearby towers and cast on those towers a debuff, which will increase further damage that they take. So there's a lot of stuff going on with this spell. Definitely challenging to use. I've used it on the tests, and it's really strong, but the timing is very important because if you miss the explosion, then you waste that entire debuff, you waste the explosion, but you don't want to go too early because you don't want to lose out on all the damage absorption that it has or cut short your damage dealing. So really important timing with that. Second one is Blood Fury, which is a nice complement to Explosive Aegis.
Totally.
So Blood Fury, when you cast Blood Fury, you get 2 rage instantaneously, and then for a set period of time, anytime you destroy a tower, you get back health. At the same time, your rage regeneration during that period is depleted. So if you're approaching an island, you don't have enough rage for Explosive Aegis, you are absolutely casting Blood Fury. You are then casting Explosive Aegis, and that definitely is one of the patterns you get into, and then you try and time it to knock out and nuke that entire island. Finally, Lightning Storm. This was something on Sage, popular spell. For when you cast this for a period of time, you have these lightning clouds that are above your dragon and just fire lightning bolts down at towers at an interval. dealing, again, it's white, so unstoppable damage. So that's a very powerful accompanying spell for you, especially when you're attacking that first island. You're at full rage, and you really want to take down usually their toughest targets. You definitely want Lightning Storm active, and then Explosive Aegis right when you come in.
Sounds good. It's a very powerful dragon.
Yeah.
For reference, because I saw this come up on the forums in the summary thread, Blood Fury does technically give you 3 rage, but you do spend 1, so it's a net positive of 2.
Right.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Just
for
clarification.
In the game, when you activate it, it doesn't actually show your rage depleting to 1 and going up by 3.
Yeah.
It just goes straight up to 2. Yeah.
You're right. I always mentally, when I'm doing my attacking calculation, I always think of it adding 2 rage.
Yeah.
Which is because it is a good way to think about it.
In game, that's what it shows.
Right.
So.
Right.
Just for anyone being curious, though. Okay, let's see. We had some questions pop up. If the 3 of you saw Wheatsy soaring above you, who would be the first to give up and let him take you?
Me.
I was going to say, I think that might be a toss-up between us.
I'll just be like, it's over.
We'll just be like, I'm out.
I'm praying to Koats in that. That's the only,
we just give up.
thing.
We just
come save me.
Yeah.
please. Rainbow Serpent.
Rainbow Serpent. So, do we need to complete 1 dragon to get Wheatsy Plat Evolution Stone?
That's right.
Yes.
So if you fully claim the Koats branch all the way through Harbinger, then you can claim Wheatsy's branch up to Platinum. Or if you completely claim Quatley's branch up to Harbinger, then you can claim Wheatsy's branch up to Platinum. So if that's something that's interesting to you, I would recommend it. I'm definitely going to be doing that this season, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm obsessed with this dragon.
Yeah. So will the veteran rider match the element of the mythic dragon?
I don't reveal elements for the riders until we're leading up to that. So I can't.
Week 6.
Yep.
So we'll talk about it week 5.
Yeah.
Same as last season, we'll reveal the rider, everything about it in week 5 leading up to week 6.
Oh man, if we were being hunted by Wheatsy, who would be the first to fall?
She would.
I have bad ankles and bad knees, so I would literally just trip and...
You can't even outrun a dragon who has wings. I mean,
obviously that.
And Wheatsy could probably outrun you too. In addition to flying.
More than likely.
Yeah.
If we were on ice skates, I would give you an edge. I would say.
Yeah.
I think that's the one
toss
situation
my skate
where
in it.
Why would you throw it? No, you skate
No,
away.
because you have to skate.
Well, I have 2 pairs. I have 2 pairs. I could use the extra
pairs. And you really,
I mean, they are basically
you're gonna throw
weapons.
ice skates at this dragon.
Both pairs are in my car.
It literally can't be hurt by arrows. It's just they deflect off of its armor.
You find the chink in its armor, it'll go down.
Obviously, this is gonna work, Coffee.
For thousands of years, has defended this city, taken down by one ice skate. Just
one lone skate.
One lone skate right to the jugular. My weakness, ice skates. How did you know?
I'm going with that and I'm sticking to it. I also like that apparently I would pray to Kieran.
You would.
Kieran would come for you.
Yep. It'll be great.
All right.
Runes and
glyphs.
Yes.
Hold up. We're moving out from under.
We have an epic, legendary, and mythic for Wheatsy. They are the Rune of the Jade Aegis. The legendary Rune of the Jade. Is it Aegis or Aegis?
I think it's Aegis.
It's one of those words I've always read, but I've never had to say so
This is
many
like
times.
a GIF and GIF situation.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be some opinions from chat, but I personally think it's Aegis.
Okay.
And we're Googling it right now.
We're Googling it right now. It's
Aegis. Aegis? Not Aegis. Aegis.
And not Aegis.
Okay.
Or Aegis.
So, epic rune of the Jade, Aegis. That doesn't sound right. Legendary rune of the
we
Jade,
should ask PG
Aegis.
Jared later.
Yeah.
Mythic glyph of the Jade Aegis. So, each of these 3 increases the explosive Aegis damage. I just can't.
I'm telling you, we should just ask PG Jared later.
And then the final glyph increases warrior health. So hypothetically, you could have put it on another warrior and increase their health. I don't know why you would.
Of course, you wouldn't get the Aegis buff.
but it will increase the damage so the Aegis will do significantly more damage when it's exploded, and then you will get an HP boost from the glyph. Again, you're putting this on Weedsy if you get Weedsy.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool. So that is all the runes and glyphs of the Summer Flare Dragons, the first wave, of course.
And the lore.
Yes, and
the lore.
Yeah, the amazing lore read by the one and only PGCoffee.
Yes. My future career is a lore reader.
Yes.
That's my plan.
You can just be like a voice actor or something.
I was going to say, or do VO for like trailers.
Listen, I can't even watch the recordings of these because it's too painful. But in the moment, I really enjoy it.
Yeah. That's good. That's all that matters. Cool. So I think we are going to mosey on over to some portraits because we have some portrait information. Before we do that, of course, this is exactly what you'll see for the Summer Flare season structure. So this is everything that is coming in the Summer Flare season. Nothing else will be in except for what you see above us. As of week 8 in the Summer Flare season, all of this will be available. Everything above coffee right now will be available during the season launch. So that is next Wednesday, of course. The discount Dragon Rider behind me and Arlena will go out 2 weeks after that in week 3 of the Summer Flare season. And then that whole wave over there is going to come out in week 6, except for the Festive Dragon, which will make its way to the game in week 8. So again, as of week 8, everything will be available in the game.
So for those of you asking what the Veteran Dragon Rider, whether it will be offensive or defensive...
It's offensive.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna go with we would wait, but
all right, well,
we're not waiting anymore.
It's offensive.
Too bad. It's offensive.
No longer waiting.
Well, we
This
tried.
is why they don't have me on. This
is why. There you go.
Yes.
Sometimes you're
there
a joy. Well, anyway, dragon portraits. All right, so these are our portraits for the first wave of Summer Flare Dragons. The Dragon Dancer seen above us is going to be on Crowtley's branch, so that, of course, is the vulture hunter that we were talking about before. Dragon Dancer is first up. This is the first version of the portrait. It will evolve thrice, I believe. So it goes 2 times up to the fully evolved portrait, and then 1 more further to get the animated portrait. Mm-hmm. So we can show off the animated portrait next week once we have the test build here, and we'll get that going. Portraits are in the theme of feathers, it seems, as what I've learned from looking at all of these wonderful portraits. So, of course, that was the base. This is the second evolution here, where this dancer has now gained a feather headdress, some shoulder feathers, some knee feathers. I don't really know how else to describe the feathers. Body feathers.
So Coffee decided that she got really angry at some seagulls.
Well, that's the next one. This one...
she was getting there.
She only got mad at one seagull here.
And does she gain a sword? Can you go back to the first portrait? Yes, she does.
Yes.
She does.
In the left hand.
Yeah. And then she gets a second sword, which I think is scary. I mean, if you're
dancing... It's not really a sword, though. It's more of a
dagger. It's a dagger,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The dual wielding while dancing on a dragon, very scary. She's also holding both of them in the reverse grip.
Yeah.
Which is also very assassin-y of her. Yeah.
Right.
Also quite terrifying.
You could also consider her a dragon assassin.
But what if her dragon hits a weird wind patch and she accidentally flings it at herself?
No, she's
a dancer.
That's what the
feathers are for.
Right.
Yeah. She's so good at moving through the wind.
See, my theory is this is the best way. See, now it's a sword. Now she's gone 2 swords.
That is a sword,
and that's actually what you need if you're going to kill large flocks of birds. is 2 swords held in reverse grip. And that's how you have to go through flocks of birds now. You just cut through them in the sky.
Like how people cut through the jungle, she cuts through birds.
Yes, exactly. Just mauling birds.
Just flying on top of the dragon, dancing.
And for our reference, it's a scimitar.
Scimitar. You're
right.
Because
it's curved blade. Yep.
Okay. Scimitar. So she's wielding dual scimitars while dancing on top of a dragon.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Kind of makes sense, actually, when you think about it, to be with Crowtley's branch. Because, again, it's a combination of things that you do not want to be on their bad side.
Right.
No.
Right.
Basically.
I just want to know how she, if she's flying with Crowtley, How has he not killed her?
I think Quowley even knows you don't mess with the dragon dancer.
Yeah.
Covered
Probably
in
just
feathers.
like, I'm good.
She's collecting her own trophies.
Yes.
He's like, I'm
by way of
She's
feathers, yeah.
Destroyed up there.
Alright.
Alright, so this is the other portrait for the first wave. This is going to be with Coatz's branch. Coatz's, I guess? Coatz's branch. So this will be on the discount sorcerer, and of course, similarly to the dragon dancer, it will evolve thrice, all the way up to the final evolution, and then one more additional for the animation. So yeah,
Yep.
the Shroud Guard. So as you noticed in our lore, the sort of area where these dragons hail from is the wind-blown shroud. So this gives you a little bit more of a context clue for this portrait, where it is the Shroud Guard, or the guard of the wind-blown shroud.
That's right.
Yep.
Straightforward there. So this, of course, is the first evolution. Now we get to the second evolution. Now he starts to go kill some birds.
Yep.
It's really,
Although,
it just keeps going.
To be fair, the first time I saw this, I thought they were bananas.
Thought he just was decorating his entire costume with bananas.
I didn't say it was the smartest moment. That was just what I thought. It was a quick glance, okay?
Why would the Shroud Guard do that?
Maybe he really likes bananas.
No. That's
Maybe there's dragons that like bananas.
It's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to defend.
This is
Are you sure?
with
Because I feel
feathers.
like I have to defend this to him.
It's
You know?
indefensible. It's
Yeah.
indefensible.
Fine.
Yeah.
And now you see this, and
Well,
you see,
obviously.
like, oh, is it raining bananas now too?
Well,
Is
that
it
was
starting-
obvious. It was feathers.
There's just bananas falling from the sky. Oh my gosh.
That's a different seasonal theme,
I'm
guys.
colorblind, and even I was like, these are feathers.
We have to wait for the bananas falling from the sky for the next
Yeah.
season.
Hey, maybe we'll have a monkey dragon, and then it will make sense.
That could be fun.
Maybe. Rude.
I don't know.
Could be our next festive dragon, okay?
Okay, that's true. It could be
Indeed.
our festive dragon, the banana dragon.
It'll be great.
Yes, yes. All right, so this finishes up the portraits for everyone. Yeah, I mean, not a lot to say other than the bananas and everything that's featured on the portrait. So
Rude. The Carmen Miranda of guards. It's fabulous. I agree. He just needs
Carmen Miranda.
just needs some fruit on his.
yeah, oh,
Yeah,
that would
so
be
that'd be
great.
great.
Yeah, someone can Photoshop that, right?
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
See? Someone else agrees with me that they look like bananas. I am not alone here.
Whatever you guys say, you know, to each their own. Whatever floats your banana.
Oh! What do you guys have against birds? I was watching this with my white parakeet, and now she left.
Well, I would have too if I saw all these just portraits
Yeah,
of my
just
brethren
like, oh,
just being just exploded.
Just
Turned
like,
into
no.
like
Dragon
aesthetics.
dancer.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not making it here.
No.
All right, so
Whatever the festive dragon is, throw it out and make a holiday themed chunk.
We really should just do a whole swath of like a chunk tier or something. I would love that.
I'm waiting.
All right. Well, do
Cool.
we have questions? to
Yeah,
answer,
so that
or-
about finishes everything that we have to review here. So you've now seen all the dragons' lores, their spell set, the seasonal structure right above us, and their runes and glyphs. So if anybody has any questions for the last couple minutes while we're on stream, we'd be happy to answer them. Of course, while we have coffee in the room. It's not every day you get to see his
house.
beautiful face, so might as well ask some questions while you can. Give them the hard ones so that
Give
we
them
don't
the
have to
real
answer
hard
them. Yes.
Let's not do hard trivia questions. I do not need.
Oh man,
Not good at trivia.
someone brought back the dragons that should all be us. The season of
Let's not.
Dragon
Let's
Jared,
not do
Dragon
the
Crisis,
Oh, gosh.
Dragon
No,
Coffee.
we do not.
I mean, a crisis dragon, when you take my personality out of it, sounds pretty cool.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like.
He
a
figured mine
futuristic
would be an
dragon.
ice skating dragon, so.
Oh, yeah, very likely. Yeah. An ice skating / Disney dragon, if we had the
Obviously.
rights.
Yep.
Obviously, that's what that would be.
Yes.
In
Mine
the
would just
style
be-
of Disney.
Of course, yes.
I mean, let's be fair. Most of the gifts I've used on the forums are all Disney gifts.
Yeah. We actually just had a little category overhaul on the forums this morning.
We
So
did.
Once we announced it, Arlena made sure to add a little Disney gif in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have not tried Death Wish coffee. Someone's asked it a couple
No.
times. I have considered it, but I don't know if I can take it because that's the one that has the highest caffeine.
I've heard it's really intense.
Yeah, that's
but I
pretty
think
intense.
I should. Maybe I'll have one before the next stream.
Oh gosh.
Then I'm on, and you all can just see
Be
what
even
happens
more
to me.
energetic than
I'll
we
drink
are
it
now.
on stream, and we'll just see what
dang.
happens. That could be fun. We'll do that. We'll do that for the discount rider
Yeah.
stream.
man.
I'll drink some Death Wish while I'm on stream. I don't know if anyone needs that, but
Yeah.
if that's what the people
Well, we'll
want,
see. If it's what the people want, yes,
that's
we'll
what
make it
the
happen.
Dragon Lords want,
Yes.
and that's what they should get.
Yes.
Will the discount rider have element-specific armor like the previous ones? Yes. At least I think so.
Yeah, we will talk about that in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We'll
We'll give all the deets on that.
Defensive riders, because if you're not familiar with Atlas, then you have probably not encountered defensive riders. So I understand that there may be a lot of questions around that and how they work, and we will walk through all that. They're very cool, but they definitely are different than other dragon riders, the offensive dragon riders, in terms of how they work.
Indeed.
Here's a fun one. Pick a dragon that's the same color as your shirt. I cannot pick Kieran.
Feractus, for
You
sure.
can't pick Kieran.
Yeah, I was not allowed to pick Kieran.
I recently just got Feractus in my game because I'm in that like golden tier. So Feractus is like a light blue dragon. So I would definitely go with that one. He's great. He's very similar to Foer in terms of like a breakthrough lead dragon.
Yep.
So I've really been enjoying that.
I'm going Kanara.
Nice. Okay. Another pink dragon. Yeah.
Well, we had to match our shirt.
Yeah. You have a gray shirt on.
Well, I'm also colorblind, so they all look gray to me. So all of them.
You could literally pick
There you
anything.
go. The dragon lover does
man.
not discriminate against any dragon.
Yes, I
Nope.
don't even see color.
Ooh,
Oh.
can I answer my favorite question?
Sure.
When are we going to bring back the old dragons?
Yes, you can answer.
We're not! Not anytime soon.
You're so excited.
This is like my favorite question to answer because everyone asks it all the time.
I understand why people ask the question.
We
I really
understand.
like it. The old
We
dragons are very
understand.
cool.
But they're not
Are
coming
cool.
back anytime soon.
Yes, there will always be new dragons and amazing new art and new dragons and themes coming out, so look forward to those. And people who collected those in the past, that's their treasure that they get to hold on to, and we don't bring them back. And that's a decision we made, and I think it's important.
Yep.
Indeed. Question, in your opinion, what is the best and strongest dragon? Which ones will get discounted? So in terms of the discounted, at least for the Summer Flare dragons, of course, Coats is going to be our discount sorcerer for the first wave, as you can see right above Coffee's head. Nice big old discount right there. Yes. So in your opinion, what is the best and strongest? We kind of went over this a little bit before. I haven't gotten a solid chance to check out both the dragons yet, or all three rather.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I would imagine Weedsy is going to be the strongest, just based on its
of the
spell
three?
set.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course between Quoutley and Coats, it really depends. It
Again,
could go both ways.
Sorcerer, hunter, very different play styles. If you've played enough to decide if you're more of a sorcerer or hunter flyer or which one of those two you like. If you really like using cloak, certainly Quoutley is probably the way to go. But White Chain Lightning, really powerful on Coats, and some really cool healing spells, and adaptive resist is really interesting and not on a lot of dragons, so that's fun as well. In terms of the discounts, so we discount one dragon, which is Coats, right at the start of the season for 2 weeks, and then right after that we have the discount Dragon Rider for 2 weeks. We don't have any plans for discounts for the rest of the season. It would be unfair if we then later said, oh, now this dragon is discounted later, because then if you had already gone down that branch, you didn't get to use the discount. That doesn't seem fair. So for that reason, those two are the only discounts that we are going to be offering this season. So Coats at the start of the season, and then for the first 2 weeks of the Dragon Rider, the defensive Dragon Rider, they'll be coming out in week 3. So you don't have to worry about one of these dragons getting a discount later in the season that you missed out on.
Right.
So the exact day the season begins is next Wednesday.
Yes.
So June 6th.
Yep. Wednesday, June 6th.
Yeah.
It's going to be the official day that it goes live.
So to make sure everyone knows what happens after getting the Platinum Stone for Weedsy, do we have to get both dragons? Yes. You have to finish Coats and Quoutley.
Yeah,
I was
you got it.
I got this.
You got it.
Quoutley to get Weedsy all the way maxed.
Indeed. Yes. And of course, we sort of changed it a little bit this season around because, we want to give folks the opportunity to get the mythic dragon without having to spend as many sigils, but also, to be able to get it if, let's say, you're a lower level player, but you're interested in the collection aspect of it, any of those reasons, this will give you more access and more of a chance to get the mythic warrior, of course, as far up to the platinum stone. And then if you really are invested in it, you can, of course, move on, grab the rest of the other dragon, whichever one you didn't get before, and then finish up Weetzee's branch. So, yeah.
Yes. So co-ops will be discounted for 2 weeks. I know this already sort of got answered in chat, but just to reiterate, it'll only be 2 weeks.
Yep, the exact dates for that are going to be Wednesday, June 6th, which is when the Summer Flare season goes live, until Tuesday, June 19. So it is 2 weeks.
Where's your stolen Nissan coffee
It's right
cup?
here. Also, Dragon, the idea of a Chunk Knight portrait is fantastic. I need to write that down.
Coffee always keeps a running list of suggestions when he
really
loves,
good suggestions on stream.
that we can go bug the art team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
People will like this one.
The stolen coffee cup. Oh, man.
We'll
Still
work
great.
on that.
Yeah.
We'll work
Still
on
I
that.
feel like I need to get a special cup for this stream in particular because
do.
both of you have random special cups that everyone just associates you with.
We have to steal them.
Okay.
But I didn't steal mine.
Yeah, she did.
No, I didn't. What did I steal from my house? That's literally where it was
Listen,
stolen from. Was my
I'm
house.
not going to say it on stream because I don't
You
want
did
to
also
incriminate
mistake
you,
feathers
but
for bananas.
We all know.
That's
yeah,
just rude.
we all know how you
That's
got that.
uncalled for. That's
Maybe you
uncalled
just
for.
mistook that cup as something you owned.
That's just rude. I have like 5 of them at home. Thank you. We are not going to fly them today. We will fly them next week on all 3 of our streams.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed. The festive dragon will not be discounted, as Coffee mentioned earlier. The 2 discounts of the season are going to be Coats in the very beginning when it launches next Wednesday, and then the defensive dragon rider, which goes out a couple weeks after that. So those are going to be the discounts for the season.
Yes.
Indeed.
All right, shall we move on to the... Wait, do I get to read player names on this stream?
Unfortunately, no.
This is
I
the
know.
worst.
Twitch is lucky that it has many integrations, but Facebook Live and YouTube Gaming do not.
They don't have the wonderful.
It's not that we don't
integrations.
want to just make it all cool and force Coffee to pronounce some of your in-game names or anything.
We really do.
Yeah, trust me, we do.
We do.
All right, fine.
I'm out.
He's just out.
Just table flip.
That's it.
Table flip. I like that everyone is hoping you'll spill the next event.
As in what's coming next week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something. I don't want to step on our the creators faction toes because I know they do a nice job announcing this.
Mhm.
And I don't want to. I
That's
don't
true.
want to cramp their style.
Yes.
Per
Events
se.
are typically announced on Mondays, so you can check our social channels, and we try to announce all the events every week on Monday.
I like that apparently I stole my cup from you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh man.
It's a very threatening person. You don't see
Pretty
it on
hilarious.
stream.
Yeah.
I am not that threatening.
Yeah.
I'm only 5'3".
She likes you to think.
I'm very short.
I
Oh,
really
goodness.
liked that cup too. It's alright. She actually makes me fill it up for her before every stream. She just holds it out. and then I have to go
She
get
says,
it.
do this.
I
He
said
demands
please,
it.
thank you. I said please. I'm a
This-
polite
when
human
it's
being.
it was just when you threaten someone, it doesn't matter if you say please, it's still a threat.
Please do this or else.
Yeah.
I like that somehow
Please,
I'm being
fill
double
up the
teamed in
mug,
this stream
Coffee.
today. How am I being double teamed? Goodness.
I can't defend you when you thought that those feathers were bananas.
That's just rude.
Yeah, you're really bringing it upon yourself. All right.
It's just rude.
It's true. All right. Well, I think that's about it from what I could see in terms
That is
of
pretty
questions
much it.
for the season. So,
Yeah,
that about does it for me.
That's it.
that's pretty much what we got.
Yeah. So, of course, you can check out the other archived archived, that's the word. You can check out the other archived streams of Twitch and Facebook Live on those respective channels. If you want to see any more further details or information about the dragons, we pretty much covered it here. You can also check out For Science's forums thread where they have sort of put up all of the information that we've been over for the last couple days. And if you want to feed your soul even more, there's also some Creators Faction folks that are posting about it as well. Mm-hmm. So next week, in the beginning of the week, on Tuesday specifically, which again is the last day of the Springvale season, that is when we're going to be posting all of this information, including the detailed percentages of the dragon spells and all that good stuff on our blog, on the forums, on our social channels, all that. So the official announcement will be available then. And if you have any remaining questions, we will be on the forums and happy to answer them.
Well, I won't be. I'll be out.
All right. Well, Arlena won't be.
I'll be lurking.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
I was like, I'm gonna be reading it, but I won't be answering. It's my day off.
Yeah.
I don't answer.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure being on stream this week. I will see you all in 2 weeks.
Yes,
back for
sure.
The discount rider.
Thank you, Coffee, for joining us this week.
Absolutely.
And of course, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your feeding event. Make sure those dragons are fully fed. Do not starve them anymore.
Yes.
Because that's just,
no one can call Dragon Protective Services anymore.
Exactly. Yes. Cool. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
So
Bye.
thanks everyone for joining
one.
us. Yeah. We'll see you later.